Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this new episode of CX Punk Chat. This episode is brought to you in cooperation with the European Customer Experience Organization, an European-based organization to promote inclusion and diversity in customer experience. So basically, promoting the fact that we can have different point of view and different ideas about customer experience. It's still good to remember, you guys, the philosophy of this video blog. We are talking about pure punk nature. We want to promote individual freedom and anti-establishment view in the customer experience world. The format is the usual, is one-to-one. It means one guest, two questions, and one challenging customer management topic. Our guest today is from Middle East, I think from Dubai, correct, Faran?
Yes.
Yeah, Faran Niaz. Welcome, Faran. Welcome to this new episode of CX Punk Chat. We are really happy that you join us from Dubai.
Thank you so much, Federico. I'm very excited. I'm pleasure to know them. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So Faran is CEO and founder of Customer Experience. And Faran has a really long experience. If you check his LinkedIn profile, has a long experience in customer service, especially in banking industry. So he covers different positions as head of customer service, head of customer experience in different financial institutions. But first of all, Faran, tell us about a little bit how you become so passionate about customer experience.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be wrong to say you are born with it. This is not something that you develop over time. It's a passion. It's an art. This is not a theory. This is not a study. Study doesn't bring it. You need to love people. You need to love to help them. You need to bring smiles on the faces. And it gave me always, when I started my career a long time ago, that was some time ago, I always felt such pleasure when a customer would say, "Oh, thank you very much. I feel happy today. You did something for me." Even if it was small, I'm just changing an address, or even if I'm just, beginning of my career, even if I'm just helping with some issue, small issue, but the happiness when I resolved a problem, or it was much more satisfying when somebody said, "Oh, I have a serious problem. I don't know what to do," and say, "Sir, relax. I'm there. Leave it to me. I'll help you." And then you realize that you are representing an organization, no matter which level you are. If you're a front end, sales, operations, service, wherever you are, you become the face of the organization. And then it becomes your responsibility to see how customer sees your organization, sees how they help you, and then you become the advocate and bring them back. So for me, the passion came from very long time ago. And again, I was a big advocate of studying from various organizations that became the gurus of the customer experience. Like, who doesn't like Disney? Who doesn't know about Amazon? Who doesn't know about Zappos of the world? And I had the privilege of actually visiting all these places. I even met Tony, the CEO of Zappos. I was there. A lot of stories that I have. Disney is one of my favorite places. And I would say, why can't every organization can do this? You see these happy people coming out from these places, and you say, I wish the whole world would be like this, and every organization would give amazing experiences to the customers. So that's the passion.
Okay, it really sounds like a big passion, Faran, how you describe it. So, Faran, let's go to the first question. You have really, a big experience managing, customer service, and basically, the question I have to you: do you have some, specific advice or specific framework you use when you think about, I think in general, let's not focus just in the banking industry where you are really an expert, but in general, when we talk about, customer service and especially customer service touch point, what is your suggestion? What is your, you know, the usual approach you do to manage customer experience in a proper way in those point of contact?
Great. First of all, I must thank you. You used a very important word. Let's not specify and specifically talk about banking. That might be my experience, but the beauty about customer experience is it has nothing to do with an industry.
Yeah.
A smile is a smile in a hotel. A smile is a smile in an airline, in a telecom, and how you deliver your happiness. It's everywhere. It's the same. So yes, customer experience transforms and resonates across every industry wherever there is a customer, there is customer experience, and this is where the experience lies. I had the privilege of working in many parts of the world. I mean, including 3 years in Russia. I was the head of customer experience for Citibank Russia, and then starting from Pakistan and then UAE. And I used to travel a lot to Europe, and I've worked a short period of time US and Spain and all those places I visited. So I've seen the flavor, and I see how customer experience is now being the driver force for all the organizations. And I'm also very privileged to have seen the transition of customer experience. It wasn't customer experience just a few years ago. This was customer service. And from customer service, it became customer experience. And where does the customer experience came from? When the word NPS started coming up. Fred Ratchett was, when he wrote this article about NPS, and NPS became such a big thing, that promoter score. And then journey mapping came in. Agile, journey mapping. And what is journey mapping? I'm not going to go into the technical side of it. And you asked me,
Sure.
what is my mantra is very simple. Customer experience is not complicated, and it should not be kept complicated. Do not use too many jargons. Do not use too many frameworks. The framework needs to be designed according to the culture of the organization. Or you design a framework and make sure that the culture of the organization gets into it. Why am I using the word culture? Because when you work in Europe, or you work in Russia, or you work in another part of the world, and you move to the Middle East, very different culture. The culture of UAE does not resonate with the culture of Europe. It's a very different culture. So
can I interrupt you one second? Because you are talking about culture, and I think culture is definitely a very important point. And I think we have two levels of culture here. One is the culture in general of the country. Of course, if we go to an Arabic country, there is a certain common culture.
Protocol that you need to.
Yeah, exactly. If you go in Russia, probably is totally different. If you go in Europe, again, totally different. But then there are different within companies, for instance, companies in Middle East, or let's say, if you take, I don't know, 10 big companies in Dubai, probably they have a different culture between them. So when you talk about culture in general, you talk about culture of different countries, or potential different culture within the country, within different companies.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing because it's a blend. The culture of an organization is defined primarily from the culture of the country as well. For example,
Sure.
When I joined Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, there was a bank, the Islamic Bank. We used to have separate branches for ladies.
Yeah.
There was a separate queue. Over a period of time that we moved away, but I had ATM machines or machines where, even the queue system had a priority for the ladies.
Okay.
Which is not the culture over there. However, over a period of time that was changed. But the organization's culture in terms of customer experience is a very different thing, because let's see, for example, if we talk about, let's say, Amazon or Nike or any big name that you take, Starbucks or any other organization, you will get the same level of service no matter whichever country you go to. Despite the culture of the country, the culture of the organization is defined by its definition of how they handle the customer experience. In my organization, wherever I went, it was very important that the culture of the organization was defined by the top management, and then it's filtered down. If the top management is serious about, the C-suite is serious about customer experience and gives full attention to it, it filters down and it resonates to the front end as well. Before you ask me another question, which I would like to comment on, you said, Farhan, what would you say about the customer experience? How you? I think the very important thing today is in the era of digitalization and transformation, we need to, and I'm a big advocate of this, and I've said it in many forums, the balance of technology with human is so important. To me, this is how customer experience need to be defined today. The race towards technology is good, and pandemic and COVID has fast-tracked the technology part of it. But at the same time, we should not forget that it's the human element that actually resonates with the customer. Does the customer care if you have the most advanced technology at the back end? But if the front-end staff misbehaves with you, you go back with a bad experience. You might walk into a beautiful branch or a retail shop, but if if nobody smiles at you, and if you are not given the attention that you deserve or you require as a customer, you will go out and probably not walk back. So for me, I always tell the organizations the culture need to be defined around technology and the human element of it. One of the reasons why, mashallah, I got some success in some of the organizations where I was working. We won many awards, and people used to ask me, how did you take one bank from number 23 to number 1 bank in customer experience in UAE? And I said, one of the biggest element that I used was the employee experience. Concentrate on the employees. And I read this somewhere, and I really believe in this. People say happy employees create happy customers. Happy employees. This is a saying everybody has. But the saying has changed. It says it's actually the unhappy employees which create unhappy customers. Happy employee, I'm happy. Probably I will not deliver a happy customer service because I'm happy. But if I'm unhappy, I will make sure that my unhappiness is delivered to everyone. So make sure that your employees are happy. Yeah. And that element is quite important. And the mix of employee experience is quite important in technology.
Yeah. But this is an important point, and you mentioned about digitalization. Now I will do a small advertising for one paper I wrote, and is available on ResearchGate portal, so ResearchGate .net, if I'm not wrong, could be wrong, but you can Google it. Basically, I wrote together with a friend, by the way, is a friend that lives in Dubai, a research paper on how to manage what we call phygital journey, because at the end of the day, the journey are a mix between digital and analog moments. So even if people say, okay, I order from Amazon, a certain point in time, you need to receive your packet. And I tell you one really bad experience. You mentioned Amazon before. I had an extreme bad experience a few days ago, because I ordered something, and basically, and it goes in the direction of the customer service. And basically, it was impossible to get in touch with the company that delivered the so, but it was basically impossible. Even if you call the line, it asks you, okay, for for this kind of package, click one, dial one, and at the end, drop the call. It was impossible. At the end of the day, I had to basically search in Google Maps, find the nearest physical point where this delivery company courier company was available, and then I went there and I picked up my package there. But it was really an awful journey, and this to explain that people nowadays think about digitalization. Let's digitalize everything, but you totally right. If you don't have the culture, and in this company, you clearly see that they don't want to receive phone calls, and they don't answer to, there is not even an email address that you can contact. You should just fill a form that I did it 25 times and I didn't get an answer. So you see that totally the culture is missing, and basically what Amazon delivered to me was a very good experience on their portal, but as soon as my experience moved to the analog world, it was a disaster. So why? Because people don't think about, think just in the digital world and don't consider the real world, and don't consider that, you know, my experience is end to end once I receive my order in my hands in my house. It's not, okay, I have a very super duper perfect experience in the portal, and basically who cares about the rest? Because my judge of Amazon on that specific case is very bad, because you know, I had really, my effort was really enormous to get the order in my hand. So I totally
this is where
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, please. This is where I would quote, you know, there is a reason why Apples and all these things. I really love how Steve Jobs defined everything and how he defined the experience, and which will resonate with what you were saying. He said, define customer experience and then track back to technology. The problem is today we define our journeys through technology. So first you say, what is my capability? Let me look at my technical capability and then design the journey around it. And that's where organizations are going wrong, because the direction is not thinking from a customer. If I would design something, I would put myself into the customer's shoes and say, let me see how the customer, what would customer feel if this situation happens, and then design my journey accordingly. And there is a reason why I'm saying, for example, if you pick up a call and call some call centers, it's impossible to go through an agent. You have an emergency, you want to talk to someone, there is nothing that the IVR can help you, but there is no button to go through. And that's deliberately done. Why? Because organizations want to save on the cost of humans. They have spent a lot of money in technology. They don't want to spend now additional money to hire more people because number of calls are increasing. So this is the reason where, if the organizations are taking cost save as one of the reasons to implement technology, then this is the wrong direction they're going. I'll give you a positive example as well. Okay. So I ordered something online just like Amazon, but this is another. So it's a local body. It's called Zahir.com. So I don't have any issue, you know, taking the name, because it's a good example. So I was desperate. My friend's birthday was coming up. It was after 2 days, in 2 days. So I ordered a very special perfume. It's a specific one, very Arabic. And in the end, the comment was, they left a place to say any comment. And I said, please, this is my friend's birthday. I would really appreciate, instead of 2 days, if you can deliver it tomorrow or day after tomorrow, so before the birthday. Now I did it. Next day, I went there and I got a call from this guy. And he said, I am the CEO of this company. I read your comment. Do you need this urgently? We can have it delivered day after tomorrow. I said, you know what? It will be late, because tomorrow is my friend's birthday. I'm really, really appreciate. But he said, don't worry. Tonight I will come drive and I'll deliver it to you.
Wow.
That night, this gentleman with Kandura, with, you know, a local guy, he came and he said, as a special, you know, just because this is friend's birthday, I have specially wrapped it. It was wrapped in a beautiful box, which was not supposed to be. It was just a perfume. And my friend was so happy, because when she received it, she was like, wow, what a beautiful wrapping. Not expected, not part of the experience. But if I ever need a perfume, that's the only place where I'm going to.
Definitely. I think
that's how human element makes a difference.
Yes. Of course, Faran, you will agree that it's not really scalable, this approach, but definitely it gives us few takeaways, I think. One is, of course, the extra mile they did to make you happy. The second, if the CEO behaved in that way, yes. I'm 100% sure, coming back to your previous point, that the culture in that company will be basically addressed in that way. So he will pretend that the people will do the extra mile, not of course for every customer to go on
I will
run.
tell you how scalability can come into the organization where they have scale.
Yeah,
Like for me, a very big example, a good example is the Zappos I was talking to you. I was privileged. I went to Zappos in Las Vegas. And I asked them, they had a similar call center as big as one of the banks I was working for, 300 agents, 10,000 calls a day, 300,000 calls a month. Imagine so many people calling. I asked them, why are you one of the best organizations in customer experience? They said, we don't hear the customer, we listen to the customer.
yeah,
Customer. So what we are doing is we're hearing, I want this. Please take my order. We're hearing and we're doing what they want. But they're listening. What does listening mean? They also hear things which is not related to the work. So one of the customer called, I've quoted this before as well. They said one of the customer called, he's a veteran, army veteran, and he ordered a pair of shoes. And during the conversation, he said something about his son and some PS something, and he said, I can't afford it. In 48 hours, the PS3 was at the door. You are absolutely right. Maybe PS3 cannot be delivered to everybody. But imagine that this agent is trained to listen.
Yeah, no, but
and pick up. And what Zappos does, if I will call them and I say, I need a pair of shoes, and they say, what's your size? And I say, I'm not really sure, but I think it's 43. Next day, I get a 42, 43, and 44.
Yeah.
This they can do with everyone. You try which one fits you and return the rest of the two on my cost. They don't care about the cost. They care about the experience, the wow factor, what moments we're leaving. And that can be scalable. That's very easy to scale.
Yeah, that's the, of course. Then there are other questions like, okay, then is profitable, not profitable, etc., etc. I'm quite sure that in the Zappos case, it's profitable because anyway they calculate what are the costs. On a P&L point of view, it makes sense. Well, very interesting topic, Faran. I have a couple of questions because, you know, of course, as you can see, we are basically sponsored by the European Customer Experience Organization. Someone will ask, okay, but why someone from Dubai is getting in this video blog? And then you know, first of all, I invited you because you know, I like you and the topics you wanted to. And then a few minutes ago, you told me, yeah, anyway, I'm a member of the European Customer Experience Organization, and by the way, I was also present at the first event that European Customer Experience Organization. Yeah, and so and I want really to invite people from Middle East, from Dubai, from Abu Dhabi, from wherever in Middle East to join the European Customer Experience Organization, because we are definitely not basically close to just the European people, but we like and we love that you know, everybody from everywhere can join the organization. So my question to you, Faran, what was the reason to come to the European Customer Experience Organization? What do you see as a benefit in your area from the European Customer Experience Organization?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I come from Pakistan. I live in UAE. I worked in almost half of the world. So, you know, you become global over a period of time. With 25 years of experience, you become global. And I can't confine myself that I belong to this particular place. And ever since COVID came in, the only benefit I see out of this pandemic is it brought people closer through social media, through the net. And you know, you and I are talking now through this channel, which was not possible some time ago, and we would never thought about this. Now, I think majority of our conversations and all our interactions are happening globally. I feel that when you have so much experience, people like you, people like us, people whoever, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to share this experience. And we also have the responsibility of learning from others, because learning never stops. So I always join organizations because I always feel I can meet a few people there and I learn something. If I'm talking to Federico today, I will close this call and I would say, wow, great conversation. I learned something today.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where he comes from, doesn't matter where Faran comes from, but the learning is coming from a part of the world, and you give me a flavor of your part of the world. So when I joined the European community, first of all, I'm very proud because I am part of a global network, which is, where I do judging of awards. So I've been given an award myself as well as the most experienced judge. I've done more than 15 events as a chair of judge. So imagine how many judges from all over the world am I working with, and how many organizations from all over the world in the last couple of years have presented, and I've evaluated them. So I've truly become quite international. And today it was very interesting when Ricardo, he was chairing this event, the CXO, and I thanked him for me being there as well. And he said, we feel that Europe still needs to learn a few traits in customer experience. We're really not there where maybe US is, or Europe, or maybe UK, or as a matter of fact, even UAE is, Middle East is, because we're really, really into customer experience, and it's really resonates from the top. The government is. So I said, I would be so happy and privileged if I can share anything where technology-wise or improvisation-wise or innovation-wise is happening here, that I can share with that forum, which you can go to your organization and say, hey, great, we can implement here as well.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing, seminars or talks there where I can share with the people of Europe what we're doing in this part of the world. And by the way, not only this, I travel frequently. My favorite place is Paris. Barcelona, I went to Amsterdam multiple times, all these places. So I travel as a tourist, not only as a tourist, but as a customer experience, person as well. So for me, everything, whenever I stay in a hotel or I'm in a Euro train or anywhere, I am judging, I'm writing, I'm taking notes, so there's so much that I learned from there as well. I feel I'm as much part of it as anyone sitting in Europe is.
Okay. So our friends from Middle East, please, if you want to join the European Customer Experience,
I will promote it as well.
Okay, is really the doors are open to you guys. So go to the ecxo.org and feel to get your free membership. You will have really the possibility to interact with nice people like Faran and other much other people that you can find in the community of the European Customer Experience Organization. Faran, thanks a lot.
If I may just add,
what
I attended today and the roadmap that I saw, which was shared with us for ECXO, it's phenomenal. I'm not going to go into the details, but what's coming through, people would love to be part of it.
Okay, thank you. A big advertising from Faran. So people,
I'm not giving anything away.
From Dubai, from Oman, all over the place, please join the European Customer Experience Organization, because it will be a great experience for everybody. Faran, thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
It was Faran Niaz from Dubai. It was a fantastic episode of Six Punk Chat. And people, I wait for you in the next episode that will come soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you. Take care of yourself.